So this video is about the Quran actually being the book, right? The Quran being the book, right? To lead you into atheism. Because of the level of confusion in the book, right? Level of confusion in the book, right? The book is designed to be the dajjal and to lead you into atheism. That's what I tell you all, right? If you have a religion, if you have a proper functional religion, right, to keep it, because the Quran is actually designed to whop up you, lead you astray, and to lead you into atheism. For example, right, which book, which god, right, going to be like oh, Allah is free, which Allah, right, which god going to be like, oh, Allah is free from the need of worship, Allah is free from the need of worship, right? And in the next verse, next day, telling you you had to praise Allah and exalt him, right? You had to praise and exalt Allah. This is what he expects of you, praise and exaltation, right? In which life only go and believe a book that is so contradictory that next to one verse is our next verse saying the opposite thing. That's why I tell you all, if you have a proper freaking religion, to keep all your religion and stop getting tired for this one world order bullshit. Is the largest, this thing that they try to do to me, right? To try to use me to lead people astray is the largest, right? Largest religious manipulation that was ever done in the face of history. The attempt to use me, right, to formulate a one world religion, right, is the one thing, right, that's the largest religion attempt at religious manipulation ever done throughout history. That's why I don't subscribe to it. I don't subscribe to it, right? So if you're worshiping a stone, continue worshiping a stone. If you're worshiping an idol, continue worshiping an idol. It's not shirk, it's not sin. There is no immorality in worshiping a stone. There is no immorality in worshiping a stone. So what it do to me was a heavy brainwashing thing from young, right? So first it was a Vedic thing, and this didn't even have to do with Vedics, right? This had to do with a larger fucking spiritual evil, and then they come and do it with Islam, right? Because it was all leading up to I being the one, because the intention, lead one world religion, right? That was the intention, right? Lead one world religion. That was the intention of what they wanted to do with me, so they had to start from young, right? The global powers that is tracking me since since before I born. Right? So the first step was to initiate into Vedic, right? To get away from that polytheistic, all nature polytheistic practice, right? But there's nature, but I respect nature, right? I just go like, if I hiking and stuff, I have and that's why I want to just verbally murder these people, right? To tell me I'm too dirty to go hiking. Right, because I grew up hiking. I go on hiking all my life. I literally, that is what waterfalls, all those things, right? That's my thing, right? That I see God through waterfalls, those kind of things. That's how I see God. I choose to see God through waters, beaches, rivers. That's my way of seeing God. And anybody could tell me otherwise. Anybody could come and say, right? And nobody could say otherwise, because nature is sustain and rebuild back and self-sustaining. That's what nature is, in fact, God, right? Nature is self-sustaining. You see nature, you see a place like Paria Waterfalls, right? Get completely damaged, and in no time, it rebuild itself. It rebuild itself. So nature in and of itself is self-sustaining, right? So if I choose to see God through nature, any religion can come and tell me otherwise. If I choose to see the God I consider God through nature, and nobody could come and tell me otherwise. So if you see the God through the stone you just worship, and nobody could come and tell you otherwise. Because the fact is, God is in fact in all of these things, right? So the fact they wanted to use me now to say, oh, I feel like I'm stupid now, or I feel like dumb, right? I can read this book, see all these contradicting things, see all these nasty ass evil verses in this book, and say, oh, exalt Allah and lead the one world flipping religion. No, thank you. A little dirty. A little dirty for it. I'm not stupid. Like I said, this book is a test of people intelligent. I'm not stupid. The book boiling, oh, Allah is free from the need and free from need and generous. Free from need, free from praise. The book itself say that. But they come with all your bullshit self now. Saying, oh, Allah, the world exists for you to worship Allah. The world doesn't exist for you to worship no Allah. The word Allah doesn't depend on your worship, and even the book say that. Allah don't need you to come. Allah don't need you to bow to anything. If Allah is free from exaltation and worship, then why have a next verse next to it and Allah expects you, right, to exalt and to honor and to praise him? It doesn't make sense. Read it. It doesn't make sense. Read it. It doesn't make sense. Your book doesn't make sense. The Quran doesn't make sense. There's one verse which is a criterion, which is Surah 25, which I say, hey, it's about 16 criterion and there for good behavior. That's about it. It have nothing more, nothing less I need to know in this book. So don't come and tell me, lead one world flipping religion. Because it's a hand one world religion, partner. You choose to honor your spouse as God, that's your business. I don't have time to tell you that's wrong. You choose to honor your spouse. I personally wouldn't bow to no spouse on my baby. You choose to honor your spouse as God, ain't nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's a beautiful flipping thing. You choose to honor your wife or your husband as God. That's a beautiful fucking thing. Once both of you are doing it. Once it is mutual and both of you doing it. It's not a one-way thing. Both of you have to honor yourself as God. Right, so flip all your fucking leading people astray with all your one world religion, Bullerman bullshit. Right, good.